Hi everyone, welcome back to the second episode of our brand new series where we talk about the exit strategies of particular developments. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the most anticipated launches this year, Chuan Park. Ready? Let's go. In case you're joining us for the first time, please do check out the very first video of this series where we detail down how we use this framework, why we select certain data points to use in evaluating the exit strategy for that particular development, so that I can keep this video short and sweet, cutting straight to the chase, giving you guys the score and the ranking for the exit strategy for Chuan Park. So let's jump into it. So for us to be able to compare the developments on an apple-to-apple basis, I'm just going to evaluate the three-bidder exit strategy for Chuan Park. Okay, if you are thinking about purchasing like 1, 2, or 4 bidders, we do have the data consolidated as well. Yeah, you can just click on the link below. We're happy to send it over to you. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to focus on the 3 bidders so that we can compare all the developments utilizing 3 bidders on an apple-to-apple basis. You know, it can be a bit confusing. So for our very first video, our case study, we utilize the hill at 1 North. So for Chuan Park, we're going to utilize the 3 bidders, okay? So for price point wise, because it hasn't yet been launched, I'm going to put in 2,600 PSF because that's kind of the hearsay on the street. And of course, it may come out slightly lower, slightly higher. We'll adjust it as we go. Probably in the episode where we discuss the 3 things we like and don't like. That one will be short once more details of the development has been up. I wanted to shoot this one first because it's been widely requested. And so 2,600 PSF. For the size of the 3 bidder, I'm just going to put in 1,000 square feet, right? Kind of averaging out in between the 3 compact to the 3 premium. Thereabouts 1,000 square feet. So that lands us at a quantum of about 2.6 million. So for the very first data point is going to be average profitability. But before we jump into that, we're going to take a look in detail on what's the surrounding competition, what's our surrounding neighbors, what are their attributes. So we start off first with Emeranda Gardens, freehold development, 189 units. It's about 20 years old, as you can see over here. Cardiff Residence, 163 units. This is 99-year leasehold from 2011. So this one is about 10 years old. Okay, we have Chuan Park, that's 99 years. This one quite old already, but slightly larger in size. Chuan Park is 29 years old. Chuan Court, very small development, I believe is something like a strata development. Basically no transactions, little is known about Chuan Court. So we're going to ignore that. Golden Heights, small freehold boutique development. Golden Hill is slightly bigger, 390 units freehold as well. Golden Hill is 20 years old. Both Golden Hill Condo, Golden Hill Park, they are the same. It's just that over here they put it differently, but they are the same development. We have the Chuan, 106 unit, 99 years, and the Scala, probably the closest one, right? Scala and Cardiff, closest in age and also closest in terms of tenure, 99-year leasehold. Scala, 468 units, 99-year leasehold from 2010. So the Scala is 10 years old. And lastly, we have Spring Bloom, also a pretty good sized development, but quite a bit older, from 1995, 372 units. And now looking at the performances of those developments, right, we start off first with Emeranda Gardens. We have 123 bidders. The average quantum 2.43 million, right? So freehold lah. This is the average PSF. We have 5 transactions in the last year. Very, very profitable. They averaged about $1.1 million in terms of profits. For them, giving them a 7% annualized gains. So the average unit size for the 3 bidders in Emeranda Gardens is 1,200 square feet. Okay, the average size of the transacted units lah. Cardiff, because we only have 3 bidders, no transactions. To note, Chuan Park, average quantum about 2 mil. We have 6 transactions in total. Also very profitable. On average, they make about 1 mil. But sizing is a bit bigger, 1,500 square feet. Then we have Golden Heights, just 35, 3 bidders, also 2.5 mil. 2 transactions make a million. So you see the average profitability, a lot of them cross $1 million. Very, very profitable area. Average size for Golden Heights, also big, close to 2,000 square feet in size. Then we have Golden Hill. Good amount of 3 bedders, 267. Golden Hill, remember, is freehold, 2.6 mil. Right, there's 2 transactions in the last year, but they make 1.7 mil on average, based on the 2 transactions. Average size 1,324 square feet. And then we have the Chuan over here, 2.7 mil, average 1.2 mil. Profits, 1,324 square feet as well. And then we have Scala. Okay, so Scala is quite interesting because it's quite a decent sized development. 129 3 bedders. But if you really, for those of you who like Scala, who are aware of it, you know the supply of 3 bedders in Scala is very, very low. A lot of them don't want to sell one, which is why in the last year we only have 1 transaction, and somehow or rather this transaction wasn't terribly profitable. There was only, it averaged out to 1.6% annualized per annum. But not to say that the layout is particularly terrible and whatnot. It's just interesting to note and this one is actually, if you notice, is the one that really pulled it down, because for all intents and purposes, I do feel Scala has pretty good attributes beside the MRT and everything. So if the data would have had more transactions, if there's actually more supply coming up, I do think the data should be better. Okay, but just wanted to highlight that to you guys, because if you see our older counterpart, Spring Bloom, 200 units, the quantums are higher at 2 mil. We have 13 transactions, which means the people that want to buy into that area, they don't really mind the age of the development, and they average out to $1 million in profits, and despite its age, still 5.4% annualized gains. They have a decent size, average out to about 1,400 square feet. So now if you look at this and you're analyzing exit strategy, sometimes it's going to be tough for you to look at, especially in Chuan Park, in Lorong Chuan, this area, we have a good mixture of freehold and 99-year leasehold developments, and Chuan Park, it being a 99 years one, some people may struggle to really maybe align the data points between the freehold ones and, let's say, a brand new 99-year leasehold condos. I like it when we have something a bit newer, but if the data is not so good, which is why I wanted to spend some time to kind of explain the dynamics behind the Scala, so that you don't see this and you go like, wow, that's the next youngest one and it's not so profitable. Is there something wrong? Right? I don't think there's something wrong, and it's because you take a look at some of the older 99-year leasehold ones and they are still doing very, very well, very, very good transaction volumes. It goes to show that there's decent enough good demand in that area. Okay, so this is the data point that we're going to put into our sheet, which is 5.4% annualized gains on average in that area. Now moving on to the next data point, where we look at the current units for sale in the vicinity. So we have 12 3-bedders for sale across all those condos over there, and let's take a look at them. Okay, so we come into property group. Notice here you see 17 apartments, but why I only put 12 units is because all the 3-bedders listed over here in the Scala are actually 2+ study. One of the smaller bedrooms can barely squeeze in a single bed, so it's essentially a 2+ study. So I really wouldn't consider them exactly as 3-bedders. But the rest of the units are primarily supply coming in over from Chuan Park. Once you kind of see some Emeranda Gardens, but mostly Chuan Park, as you can see, a lot of them. And I think some of them may actually be duplicates, but haven't yet removed the duplicates, but I think more or less is around there, 12 units for sale. One of the larger ones over here at the Chuan, 1,464 square feet, 999-year lease, so 3.18 mil. But the ones over at Chuan Park hover about 1.9 mil, 1.9 to 2 mil. Spring Bloom also about 2 mil. So if you want the slightly newer ones, there's actually not many to choose from. You probably have to get something like the Chuan, but yeah, actually not much options. Okay, and then if you take a look at the next data point, is the total number of units that are built, and we have that over here. I'm going to put in 200 three bidders, just arbitrarily, the actual data is not out yet, 200 three bidders over there, and that brings the total number of three bidders in that area to 1,218. So with that, how are we going to score the exit score for Chuan Park? So here we have it. We have average profitability 5.4% with only 12 units for sale out of a total of 1,218 units. But of course, with Chuan Park coming in, and in the future with Chuan Park offering 900 units in total, I'm guessing, sort of putting in 200 units, this number will come up, yeah? But with that, actually, our supply ratio is very, very good, just 1%, and the exit score is actually significantly better than the Hill at One North at just 18%. So exit score is basically profitability divided by supply ratio, trying to understand the demand and supply dynamics in the area and giving it a score. The lower, the better. So it's scoring in at 18%. Next time, we're going to take a look at the quantum gaps between Chuan Park and its neighbors. So the average transacted quantums in that area is 2.3 mil, the median transacted about 2.43 mil, and the highest achieved quantum is 2.7 mil, achieved by the Chuan freehold development. So it's good that we know the highest achieved quantum is already at 2.7 mil. You know that there's people willing to pay that kind of price points for that area. So gap to average, if it's a positive number, means you're entering in at 265k more than the current average quantums, and the gap to median 169k, but 153k below the highest achieved quantums. And so gathering the scores, it gives us a total score of -1%. Moving on, we are taking a look at the PSFs in that area. So the average surrounding transacted PSF currently stands at 1,700. The median surrounding PSF stands at 1,600, and the highest achieved PSF stands at 2,080 achieved over here, again at the Chuan. So we have, if you enter in at, let's say, 2,600 PSF, okay, it's 888 PSF above the average. Quantums 924 above the median, and 520 PSF above the highest achieved PSF. Now, is this going to be a deal breaker? The answer is no. Again, this is basically the reason why I created this particular framework, to give you more perspective than what traditionally people use, which is quite simply just quantums and PSFs. Mostly people use PSF, not many even use quantums. So if you're just gonna evaluate this based on the PSF, you're gonna be scared off. So hopefully this gives you a little bit more clarity, a little bit wider perspective. Okay, so now with that PSF score, obviously it's going to be high. This one is going to be higher than the One North, ranking in at 91%. Primarily, I think it's because of a lot of the older ones pulling the average PSF down, our older 99-year leasehold ones pulling the PSFs down, and then the freehold ones, the PSF is not exceedingly high because they are also of a certain age. So now, how is this going to rank out? And here we have it. So I'm going to break down the ranking down into two parts. Okay, first is the ranking based on exit score over here, and so with that, Chuan Park beats out here at One North significantly at just 18%, so lower the better. But if you are taking a look at the gap score, the Hill at One North 3 bidder will beat out Chuan Park. So again, if you don't quite understand how the framework works, what each scoring means, why we're utilizing the data points, please check out our first video where we explain in great detail why we use all these data points and what all those scores mean. And if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want us to evaluate the scores of more developments, feel free to put them down in the comments below so that we can add them on to all these lists. Hopefully we can cover as many condos as we can. I'm going to make this one of the new things for us. But we are not stopping our 3 things we like and don't like condo review. Once more information about Chuan Park comes up, I'm going to shoot that as well. So don't forget to like and subscribe so you're kept informed of that. So if you're interested in getting some of this research and data to probably check it out in greater detail for yourself, click on the link below and we'll be happy to share it with you. So we hope you've benefited from all the data that we've put together and give you a little bit more perspective with regards to the exit strategy for Chuan Park. But if you are interested in perhaps getting a unit, there are more factors involved that we haven't yet included in this, right? That one primarily reserved for our clients itself, because it's going to require a lot more work, and if you're going to put that into the video, it's going to make the video extremely long. But I'm going to just put it here. What are some of the other factors that you can consider? Okay, things like size of developments, especially if you're considering between the different developments. Again, how this framework works best if you compare different developments together. Again, on its own basis, all the scores don't mean much. You have to compare them across the board. That's the main purpose of this framework. So other factors that you want to place into the considerations can be size of development, number of units, whether or not there are transformation in that area. How do you analyze transformation? Because Singapore is so small, everywhere seems to have transformation. Any new plots coming up in the vicinity that will help you pull up the price. We also analyze age of developments, which is one of the information that we have put it down for you. One of the extra things that we actually analyze in, especially if the data are very close to one another, is the gap that you're entering, your current development and the gap to the youngest development. Rental yield, for those of you looking for investment. For those of you looking for own stay, you will consider things like schools, distance to MRTs, amenities in that area. And for those of you who are analyzing this or thinking about it on an entire portfolio basis, extra steps that we put in place is like, what's the expected holding period for this particular product that you're buying? How does it play out in terms of your entire portfolio sizing? Are you upsizing your portfolio? And that's something that a lot of people are struggling with now, because after they sell, due to all the increased stress test rates, increased interest rates, they are struggling to upsize their portfolio. So which move is best? So I get questions a lot. Should I buy under one name? Should I combine and buy under two names? So all this falls under portfolio optimization. What's the opportunity cost selecting this property versus another one, new or resale, right? And also, which ones have the most optimal exit timing? For all of this, you are thinking about quite a fair bit of these considerations, as well as that's the whole purpose of making sense of this exit score, making sense of the supply in that area. And lastly, once you have zoomed in into that particular development, or let's say you have already zoomed in that you want to get a unit here at Chuan Park, the detailed ones are competitor analysis. Your particular layout, how does it compare with the other layouts in that area? Layout analysis as well, competitor analysis, stack selection, as well as PSF gap within the development. Which ones, at what PSF should you be selecting a more premium stack? At what PSF should you select a less premium stack, or maybe a suboptimal stack? Okay, so with that, hopefully this has helped you. But if you feel that you need extra help, some of our help coming in to give you some perspective, feel free to contact us or click on the link below to arrange for a non-obligatory consultation session. If not, till next time, bye bye.